Hey everybody, and welcome back to Let's Play Eschalon Book 2 for the final time, most likely in this case. So I looked for secrets for Eschalon Book 2 secrets, and I didn't really find anything. I guess the biggest secret, if you will, is probably the Thaermore dungeon, which apparently was added to the game later as a free expansion, so that's cool. Didn't know that. But I also did look up what to do with the bells and the book. And actually, I only looked up what to do with the book, and it turns out that the first forum thread that I found about it mentioned that you need both things for the same secret, I guess. The same, I don't know what to call it, side quest, hidden quest, or whatever. And it, well, you can see that I'm in Port Kudad in the Academica, whatever it's called. And apparently you have to talk to this St. Gilhelm again. And, well, now that I'm here and see this place again after hours and hours, I don't know, it's been a long time since since the one time that I was here over the course of the main story. And now that I see this, of course, and I must have seen this back in the day, you know, all the way back when I was first here. Obviously, I must have seen this and noted this, but I did not literally take a note about it. In fact, I stopped taking notes just because there weren't really all that many things that seemed like I would need to come back to them. And I guess what must have happened at the time is that, of course, I saw no way of opening this gate, and I had so little interaction with this St. Gilhelm that I must have assumed that the main quest would, eventually lead me back to him, and then we would be doing something here. But that just never happened, and I completely forgot about this room here with the staircase leading down, and, if I needed any more confirmation that this is not just a set piece, but actually something that you can do something with it. There's this clickable, interactable sign right there. So, yeah, obviously, if I had remembered this existed, I might have made the connection that this might be the place to, or at least a place to try to do something with these items. But I never did, or rather I forgot, and here we are. And I guess I must not have had the book when I first came here, or else I might have had this option here, it looks like. Back then. Yeah, no, I must have acquired that book after the fact, after I talked to him and first, contacted the guild and all that. Oh well, I'm sorry to bother you, but on my journeys I have uncovered a book regarding the Oracle that you may be interested in. You have St. Gilhelm, the book Oracle of Facts and Fiction. Well now, let me take a look at this. St. Gilhelm says with a spark of interest in his voice. He leaves through the pages, his eyes darting side to side as he reads with incredible speed and thoroughness. I wish I could do that. Well, this is certainly a wonderful donation to Loxton Hall. I would like the mythology scholar to look at this, but unfortunately I'm the only person here. No. Well, I guess we have to assume that there are actually more people technically working and studying here. Right, mythology scholar to look at this. Though he's currently away helping to restore historical documents salvaged from the ruins of Bastion Spire. Oh, okay. A little reference to the first game there. I think Bastion Spire might be where the end game was in Book 1. If you would be so kind as to take this book down to the archive room and set it upon his desk. I do not wish for it to be put out among the other works until he has had the opportunity to examine it. He's had, yeah. St. Gilhelm hands you back the book. I'll open the gate for you. Oh, I will be happy to take the book down to the archives. Apparently that was worth 1,000 XP, without a quest or anything. Okay. Well, come on now. Basement, archival storage. Oh yeah, okay. You walk down a narrow stairwell into the Loxton Hall archives. This is where ancient manuscripts and artifacts are kept. The air is cool and dry. The smell pungent and musty. Instead of torches to illuminate the rooms, it appears that the light is created through some biochemical process within the floor lamps, producing a yellowish-green glow without the sooty, damaging effects that burning torches would cause. Pretty smart and interesting that this kind of technology exists, although don't they have the same kind of streetlights in the city itself? Oh. These books are even more ancient than those which are kept upstairs. Merely the wisp of air produced as you walk past is enough to cause some of the paper in these books to flake off and float away as dust. Oh, that's not good. I hope they made some copies while the books were still readable, because obviously if they're in that kind of state, they're completely worthless. That is a shame. Okay. Huh. Is this gonna be something like a real dungeon? Maybe not. Down this hall Locked storage cells contain various artifacts from Eschalon's past, rusted old weapons, cracked pottery, even an old anchor from a ship that no longer exists. Although these objects hardly look like treasures to you, they have enough historical significance to warrant protecting. It's too bad that we can't even really see the sprites they put here because of the bars in front of them. Well, there's the anchor, I suppose. Let alone get any extra info. Nothing here is clickable. But at least we do get a lot of lore and flavor text, via these little automatic triggers. This room contains several old artifacts set upon tables. These artifacts are very strange indeed, designed for an unknown purpose, made from alloys that you are unfamiliar with. Okay, Oracore artifacts? Probably. A map lying on another table seems to be marked with areas across all of Eschalon where these various artifacts have been unearthed. Okay. Again, the sprites themselves don't look like much, so who knows? Oh. Well, this is certainly not the scholar's desk. Oh. Oh! Okay. That happened? That was also worth 30,000 experience. Oh, wow, okay. Enough to level me up once and then almost again. But, I did reload one of my save files inside Teleshorn, but there are several points which prevent you, several points throughout the dungeon where gates just shut behind you, and you can definitely not walk out of the final chamber. I did try that, and I'm suspecting that, I don't think there's a save file where I'm close enough to that final level up at 200,000 that this might give me that extra level past Archmaster, was it? So that's unfortunate. But oh well, I mean, no big deal, of course. Anyway, this object has 4 colored hooks to hang special bells from. It was used centuries ago by mystics to induce an enlightened state to those who meditate near it. You place the 4 bells on the bell tree. The harmonic tones put you into a trance, and when you regain consciousness, you feel your knowledge of all things has expanded greatly. Oh, that's literally all it does. That's the explanation for this massive experience boost. Fair enough, I suppose. So that's all that was. This object, yeah, okay. Can I just meditate again and get another 30k experience? And then again and again? No? Well, I suppose technically I could have found the book much sooner. And, I could have theoretically even had the book when I first came here via the main quest. And then I would have encountered this thing, and I would have known that I was looking for 4 colored bells, and none of that would have been a mystery. Well, as it is, it ended up being a little bit anticlimactic. Oh. Hello there? This is not worth a message? I suppose we do get a sign here, but still. Draco Pyrus Destructus. Yeah, that sounds like Latin. Unearthed in Barrier, Age of Remains Unknown. Huh. So, are there no living dragons anymore? I suppose that's not necessarily true. Oh, okay. Oracore Affected Fiction has been removed from your inventory. You place the Oracore book on the table just as St. Gilliam has requested, and that was worth another whopping 250 experience. Almost enough to give me that level up. That's so... I mean, it really does not matter at this point, but still. So, was the book really just a mechanism to get me access to this basement, and thus the Beltry? Is that really all it is? Well, I guess I'm gonna try talking to Gilham again and see if there's any more to this, but I get the feeling like the book really wasn't all that important in the end. Alright, so you have to load all of Port Kudad. Hey, Gilhelm. Oh, and again, we're back to not having any dialogue options with him. Yeah, he doesn't want to talk to me. He's a grumpy old man, even though... Whatever. Okay, well, that was neat. I don't know what I expected. I guess I expected something like a mini dungeon or something, where you actually do something. But we did get a bit of lore and flavor, and 30,250, well, actually 31,250 experience in all, right? So, yeah. That was certainly very generous and would have helped a bit, I guess. I mean, if I had actually done that before the end of the game, I would have been level 22 in the end. So, yeah, it's a bit unfortunate that I only did this after it no longer matters. I'm certainly not going to go ahead and beat the game again just to find out what level 22 is called, or, you know, if there's anything special happening. Or if there is maybe really no further level past that. That's all possible, but, you know, obviously, since there is no importing of save files between games, none of this matters at all. But, well, I'm glad that I at least now know what I missed. And, yeah, it's a bit of a shame that if I had taken a note about this and not just assumed that I might talk to this guy again, or if I just randomly wandered in here and checked again, it might have clicked, and I might have figured, wait a second, this guy's a scholar, I have this book and these bells, and maybe there's something to do here. Oh well, but that didn't happen, and so this is where I end this Let's Play. Kind of I don't know, kind of anticlimactic, but it was always only going to be this little bonus episode. I thought there might be maybe some secrets, and there might be, but you know, quick Google didn't produce anything, and you know, I think I'm satisfied. I've seen enough of this game. God, I suppose I should have prepared some sort of final, I don't know, review, or, you know, at least some. I should have collected my thoughts on the game, perhaps, and, you know. But as usual, that's not really something I tend to do. I just play the game. I talk about all kinds of things that, you know, concern the game and its various mechanics and design and whatnot along the way. So this whole Let's Play is my review of the game, if there is such a thing at all. And I guess I enjoyed it overall. It was maybe a little bit. It dragged on a little bit in parts. I still feel like the game world is super interesting, and the mechanics all work well enough. Some minor issues aside, like I don't even know. It's my head is completely empty. I've complained about, you know, minor things here and there, and, you know, so it has its issues. It's not perfect. There are minor things like this overlapping combat text. That's obviously one of the least important things. What else was what was I just going to talk about? Oh god. Yeah, so I enjoyed the game. It did start dragging a little bit, you know. One of my major gripes is that there are just so few actual options in combat, especially if you're focusing on physical combat. You can just stand there and trade blows. I guess in the end I was making a little bit more use of, or I was making heavy use of haste, which did give me more options to actually retreat from the fight, you know, to do hit and run, or to stand there and trade blows, but more efficiently. So there are some options, but ultimately it just comes down to, are you strong enough to beat any given enemy without having to rely heavily on RNG, on just getting lucky rolls. And, you know, at some up to a certain point you're not strong enough to beat an enemy unless you maybe use lots of resources, and then after a certain point you are strong enough and you will be able to beat those enemies, and then there is a new enemy that is now too strong to beat. But I guess thanks to my thoroughness and, you know, doing all the side quests and doing you know, exploring absolutely everything, I never got to a point where the next thing I needed to do was actually too tough or was, you know, very tough, and everything was quite doable when I got there. So I guess in the end it all worked out quite well in that regard. But yeah, that's probably, I don't know if I even would call that a criticism, or it's just how this game works, and it did work. The final fight against Gore was maybe a little bit much. I mean, without the plasma one, which was completely optional, but of course, again, I mean, what kind of player skips that? It wasn't even hard to get or anything. You just have to do that one extra dungeon of lore, which by the end game, I did that way early, and all you really had to do was, I guess, navigate some minor navigation obstacles labyrinths and deal with those 2 beholder type enemies, which were very doable when I got there and would have been trivial by the end game. So really not an actual challenge, and just a matter of maybe an hour or so of time investment. So yeah, you could have skipped the plasma one, but you know, there's really not much of a reason to. And yeah, without it, that fight would have just lasted another half an hour or so, because it just, you know, that guy just was ridiculously hard to hit even at my near max level, and obviously hit like a truck. So yeah, very, very tough. Maybe a little bit overtuned, if you ask me. But it worked out in the end, and I did beat him on the first try and everything. So I guess I can't really complain. Yeah, and I don't know why I keep rambling here. I guess I did give you a little bit of an analysis after all, despite what I said earlier. So thanks for listening to me rambling, I suppose. Not just in this bonus episode, but throughout the entire run of the series, probably, if you're still here. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed all of this. I guess you must have to some extent. And, well, I'm super glad that you did, if you did. I guess all that's left to say is that I thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you soon in another Let's Play. So, take care and bye-bye.